So you just had your car PPF'd, and obviously your main goal will be to ensure that it stays looking as good as possible for as long as possible. That's why we're gonna be going over the proper way to maintain your PPF, starting from the day you pick it up. Let's get into it. So for those that are new, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Brett, and today we'll be going over the do's and don'ts of paint protection film maintenance. This is our 2023 Corvette C8. It is currently protected with Supreme Detail Supply's Cosmic Blue color shifting PPF, as well as the gloss black PPF on all of the trim accents. We're gonna be doing a maintenance wash on this beauty, and we're gonna walk you through it. We're gonna start with the day that you pick up your car. For starters, your PPF is still continuing to dry. Don't worry, this is just as protective in this state as it is when it's fully dried, but it shouldn't be exposed to any sort of harsh environment, and it definitely shouldn't be washed. While it's very minimal, there will be some moisture that's left underneath the film. This may be completely unnoticeable, or it could show up in the form of a bubble. Again, don't worry, it's completely normal. The film is porous, so any moisture that's left underneath will be able to evaporate through the film over the next 1 to 2 weeks. If you see any sort of bubbling, leave them be. Definitely don't try and push them down, as it could cause a crease in the film, and you definitely don't want that. During the 1 to 2 week drying time, the film will obviously be exposed to the sun, and with the heat, the film will expand ever so slightly. There's a bit of tension involved in this process, so while we do our best to minimize it, it's possible that an edge or a corner might pop up. This isn't something that we can ignore, as dirt and debris can definitely get trapped underneath and ruin the aesthetic of the film, which is why at Envious we have a free wash and follow-up appointment that allows us to be the first ones to wash the car, address any areas of concern, and tidy up the paint protection film. Our main goal is ensuring that we meet the quality standards that we've always upheld, and in doing so, that's why we use the free wash and tidy up, so that we can make sure everything is good to go. You definitely don't want to be touching any of the edges if any of them do pop up, as if you start picking at them, they won't stick down cleanly. So you just want to bring it in for an assessment, and we'll go from there. But what happens when it's time for you to wash your car? Well, let's jump into it. First off, you need to treat your clear bra the way you would the rest of your car. Just because your car is protected does not mean it can be neglected. When you wash the PPF, you need to be using a pH neutral or pH balanced car shampoo. That means a pH scale of about 7. We prefer using Supreme Detail Supply's car shampoo, but a majority of the other products on the market are definitely gonna be pH neutral. You just gotta stop and check the facts on the back. Or if you don't already have one, you can stop by Envious Detailing or use code Envious YouTube for 10% off your entire order on supremedetailsupply.com. You definitely don't want to be using any sort of caustic or acid-based chemicals, as they can harm the finish on the film. We use a foam gun and a pressure washer to make things a lot faster, but you can definitely still be using a microfiber wash mitt and a bucket. We then rinse the car with the pressure washer to ensure as much of the dirt and debris is off the car prior to using any sort of wash mitt. When we're using the pressure washer, ensure that you're at least 2 feet away from the panel. This goes for paint protection film as well as any unprotected paint too, just so you don't have any unnecessary damage. Be cautious around any of the edges and the corners, as too much pressure on the edges can lift the paint protection film up, and then obviously you're getting the issue of dirt underneath the paint protection film. If you don't have a microfiber wash mitt, you can definitely use microfiber towels, as they would work very similar to a wash mitt. We work in sections, rinse off the wash mitt frequently to get rid of any debris. The PPF we use is self-healing, which means that minor marring from the washing process will heat out after being in the sun for a few hours. That means that this isn't as necessary on cars that are fully paint protected like this C8, but will absolutely be necessary on the rest of your paint that it doesn't have PPF. If later down the line you have any sort of lifting edges, definitely let us know and bring it in so we can trim it away to keep it from expanding. Finally, rinse it once more and use a drying towel or air to get rid of all of the excess water. You may be used to using the typical Carnauba waxes, but we have far easier and far better performing alternatives. You don't want to be using any sort of petroleum-based waxes on the PPF, and we highly recommend a true ceramic coating application for all cars, PPF or not. If you're not familiar with ceramic coatings, I'll link another video that goes over all the details, but it's honestly a no-brainer. Ceramic coatings get applied to the clear coat or the paint protection film to add another layer of protection, as well as making sure that your PPF lasts as long as possible. This enhances the gloss and shine of it, and definitely makes it a heck of a lot easier to clean, being that it has hydrophobic properties. Dirt and debris just simply doesn't stick to this surface nearly as easily as it does to your clear coat, which means your car stays cleaner for longer, and when you do go to wash it, everything kind of just falls right off. There are different maintenance procedures for ceramic coatings, but definitely something that we suggest. If you're not getting a ceramic coating though, we definitely recommend using some sort of sealant wax or ceramic coating topper spray. A ceramic coating topper spray uses the same properties as a ceramic coating, but it definitely needs to be applied more often than the ceramic coating. We use Supreme Detail Supply's Ceramic Boost on all of our cars, and again, you can find it at Supreme Detail Supply for 10% off with that code. So that's basically it. As soon as you get your car back from PPF, make sure that you do not wash it for about 2 weeks. That way it can continue to dry out and fully cure. Once we have that 2-week point, come back, we'll take a look at it, make sure everything is tidied up, and we'll give you that free wash. Obviously, we walked through the proper maintenance for paint protection film, so make sure to abide by those principles that we laid out. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Looking forward to working with you. Have a good one.